we rarely finish an entire curriculum. The one curriculum that we finish that I make sure is math. I do make sure my kids finish math because that's something that you really do have to build on each year. So once they're done with math in their minds, they're done with school. But secretly, they don't know that they're going to be learning every day for the rest of the summer.
Hey everyone, this is Yvette Hampton. Welcome back to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast. I am back today with Aby Rinella. Hi, Aby.
Hey, how's it going?
So good. So good. I am so glad to have you back today. And we are talking about something super fun today. We're talking about summertime.
Yay.
Which is hilarious because this morning you texted me a picture. Okay, people who listen to the podcast, they know this. You live in Idaho, where it's stinking freezing cold.
But wait, people in Minnesota are going to write in and say that we're crazy. We are not Minnesota cold.
Well, okay, maybe you're not Minnesota cold, but you're Minnesota snow.
We are.
Right?
That's true. We have the snow. We just aren't that bitter cold.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's crazy to me. So you texted me this morning. It's April. It's almost May.
Yeah, we're recording this on April 27th. So this isn't in January.
Yes, April 27th. And you got like 6 inches of snow today.
It's true. It's true. But I was wearing shorts last week and I'm looking at the weather and I will be wearing shorts at the end of this week.
Oh my
But
word.
we did wake up to 6. Well, yeah, my husband sent me a picture from work and he's just like a few hundred feet above us in elevation where he works. And there was 6 inches on the ground. It's true.
I can't even imagine. And it's so funny because we had actually planned to do this episode on summertime. Like it's summertime.
Yeah,
yay.
Totally.
Let's talk about summertime.
Because it was 3 days ago.
Though, okay, this is weird. I'm in Oklahoma now. And last week it snowed. It didn't stick, but it like randomly snowed this one day. And then the next day it was like, I don't know, 75 or 80 degrees. And so the weather here is totally bonkers as well. And for this SoCal born girl, I'm really struggling with it because I need the sunshine.
Consistency.
I know consistency, but I need sunshine. So it's coming. People say, I don't know. We've had a couple of sunny days here.
We live in a pocket where it is sunny. Like it is so it'll dump 6 inches and then it'll be sunny, blue sky. So we don't get very many cloudy days ever. Like it's always sunny. So that's the only way we can survive this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And to know that this time of year, it's going to go away. Like if this was February, I'd be crying right now because I didn't want more snow. But now this will be gone in a few days and I'll be...
You'll be in the mud.
I'll be in the mud and then we'll be in the mud for 3 months.
Oh my goodness. Because you were saying that you actually don't have really like a springtime. You basically go from winter to mud to summer.
Yeah. We have like 2 months of mud and then we have summer.
So when you teach your kids the seasons, do you teach them winter, mud, summer, fall?
And then we show pictures of what spring looks like in the rest of the world.
Wasn't it your little one, Winnie, who asked about the ocean and like what the ocean was or what the beach was?
Yeah. Yeah. Because she did. What's the beach like? What's the ocean like? And the idea of salt water, she could not wrap her head around it. And I still can't wrap my head around the saltwater beach.
That's so funny. Do you tell her that people just take their own little salt shakers with them out to the beach?
Shake it into the beach.
Shake it into the ocean.
Oh my word. Someday. We're going to take her to the ocean someday.
Someday.
I don't think I ever saw the ocean until I was like in my teens, high school. Yeah. And then I got there and it was scary. The ocean's scary, but we've talked about that before.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I think lakes are scary because they're dark and you can't see what's under the water. But anyway, so, okay.
I've missed just you and me. The last few podcasts we've done, we've had some incredible guests, like amazing, mind blowing. But today everybody gets just you and me, which is super fun.
They
talking
get the
about
raw
summer. Here we are.
And Yvette with our goofy selves. So we're at the end of a school year. And let's talk about this past year because we've had a pretty crazy past year. Lots of ups, lots of downs, lots of unknowns and question marks all around. Tell us about you. I want you to give us an update on you guys. I know several months ago we talked about Called Beyond, the ministry that the Lord had opened up for you guys. So I want to get an update on that. And just what has your school year looked like?
Okay. Well, our school year this is the first year, and moms, don't ever, lesson number 1, don't compare yourself to other homeschool moms, because I'll say something and it's not the norm. For the first time, we are going to be done with school like in 2 weeks, we're done. So mid-May. And that's not normal. And the only thing I can think of is that so many things have been canceled this year that we've just haven't had we've just plugged away at school maybe. So our update is that we're getting done a little early this year, which is really exciting. And so what else is new?
Wait. Yeah. Let's park there for just a second.
Okay.
When you say done, is that because you, at the beginning of the year, you set out kind of a schedule of what you wanted your year to look like and what you wanted to accomplish by the end of the year, and you've now checked all those boxes, and so you can call it done?
I don't really do that so much. Here's how this is kind of how I feel. I tell my kids, the one curriculum that I do, like we rarely finish an entire curriculum. The one curriculum that we finish that I make sure is math. I do make sure my kids finish math because that's something that you really do have to build on each year. So once they're done with math in their minds, they're done with school. But secretly, they don't know that they're going to be learning every day for the rest of the summer. But they think that when they're done with math, they're done. And we finished. So I don't, the curriculum doesn't dictate our life. We use the curriculum for us. But so I guess I should have said, we're done with math in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Everything else we just kind of do as we get to, which is exciting. And that's what we're going to talk about today is learning through the summer and how we can carry that learning on.
Yes.
So here's my sad thing for this school year is I have older kids now, a middle schooler, and like my kids are getting older. So not old, but they're becoming more independent learners. I mean, they can do more independent. Like I'm not sitting there doing phonics with them and teaching them to add. They can kind of do. And I'm really struggling with that. Like they're needing me. And I know that's the goal, right? The goal is that they need us less and they become more independent. But does that hurt your mama heart sometimes?
Do you feel like you're like losing your job? Is it?
Well, yeah, but not really because I still have a 7-year-old. So I still have one that really does need me. But it's hard because like my older daughter, who's going to be in 8th grade, she'll like get through her whole school day and never ask me any questions. And I'm like, oh, don't you need me to help you with that? So, and I know that's good, right? That's a good thing. She's becoming independent. But do any other moms feel that way where it's kind of like when you're done nursing, you're like the end of an era?
Right. Yeah, no, I don't know. We do so much together, and my girls do a lot of things independently.
Yeah.
They're finishing up 4th grade and 9th grade this year, but we also do a lot of stuff together. Like we spend a lot of time reading together during the day. Like we spend a large majority of our day. We have several different books and things that we're reading and going through during our morning basket time. And so we spend a lot of time doing that. So I feel like that's the time that I hold on to most tightly.
Yeah, I
love that. That's my favorite part of our homeschool day.
That's mine because we're all together, and and we do Sunlight, their literature and history. So we do so much together. Yeah. But just like she can write a report now all by herself, and I'm like, oh, that's good. I did my job well, but I want to write that report with you. So anyway, it's just been interesting going into new seasons of middle school, and then with you, high school. It's just a different. Yeah. It's just different.
It is different.
It's good, but it's different. So what else is new? So Called Beyond, we shared, it's been a long time.
It has
That is our nonprofit that our family started, that God just did incredible miracles, amazing miracles, where we take kids with disability, illness, other challenges, and we take them and their families on outdoor adventures, hunting, fishing, those sort of things. And our 3 main goals are to just show the world the value of life. And, our next, what we have coming up this spring is we're doing a jet boat fishing trip with a Down syndrome child. And we just have such a heart for specifically kids with Down syndrome because you don't see a lot of those kids anymore. And the sad reason is because we live in a culture where life isn't valued. And so those lives are taken before they've ever had a chance to be, used fully in the way the Lord would have them. So we really have a heart for those kids and those parents who have chosen life. And so we really want to bless those families and then take their story and share with the world to share the value of life, and that God gives life and that only God should take life. And so that's our first thing. And then our second thing is just the value of family, and how God created family for a purpose and a reason. And so we take families together, and that's really special, is to be able to bless a whole family. And then the last thing we do is just point to the Creator through His creation. And again, we live in a time where so many people worship the creation and they ignore the one that created it. And so we just want to really focus on who the creator is behind that creation. So it's exciting. God has done incredible things to grow this ministry and connect us with families all over the nation. And
that's amazing.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested more, head over to thecallbeyond.org and you can find out more. But we're excited. It's fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that the Lord is using you in that way. And he's using you in lots of ways. I mean, you've spent the last year, building this ministry as God has allowed you to do that. Mm-hmm. You have spent the last year working and volunteering with Homeschool Idaho and helping them out. And there's, I know, been a lot going on with so much, just the crazy influx of homeschool families. And so that's been an incredible blessing. And then, of course, doing the podcast and homeschooling and all the things. You've had a lot going on. So that's exciting. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Are you looking for a fantastic online math program that removes the burden of teaching math? Then Teaching Textbooks is for you. Our family's been using teaching textbooks for years, and we couldn't be happier. Our girls say that it makes learning math fun, like a game, and they love that it's interactive. Teaching Textbooks uses step-by-step video instruction and does all the grading for you. The newest version is available now with an app that even works offline. Sign up for the first 15 lessons for free at teachingtextbooks.com. That's teachingtextbooks.com. We are back with Aby Rinella, and we were just getting kind of an update on what she has had going on this past year and just the way the Lord is moving in their the ministry called Beyond that God's called them to. We've had a pretty fun and crazy year too. You know, it's again been a year full of question marks and uncertainties.
Yeah, where were you 1 year ago?
1 year ago,
you were in Georgia.
We were in Georgia 1 year ago. Now we're in Oklahoma.
So you've had a lot in a year.
We have had a lot in a year. It's so crazy because you don't think about, oftentimes we think about like, okay, what's our life going to look like a year from now, or where are we going to be in a year from now? But we never, ever would have imagined that we would be in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Actually, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma is the actual town that we're living in. And God is faithful to take us where he wants us to be. And so it's been a fun year. We are just finishing up our first year of high school. And so that has been an amazing journey for us. And I have to say it has been much easier than I expected it to be. For some reason, leading up to high school, I always thought it sounded really super scary. And now we're at the end of our first year and I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Oh, good. Moms need to hear that.
Yes. Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. And I think I've talked about this before, but at the beginning of I guess it was probably in the summertime last year, I kind of didn't know what direction to go as far as transcripts and planning for high school and what was required. And so I called HSLDA and we're members, of course. And so I said, what do I need to do? And I talked to one of their high school consultants and they just walked me right through it. And it was so easy. And they had every resource that I needed on there. So that was really helpful. And that kind of allowed me to just come into it with a calmness that I don't think I would have had otherwise. And so it was good. You know, we have a preteen and a teen, both girls. And so it's really fun. I just get to see how the Lord is building up the relationships between me and my girls. And I love it. I love the time that we get to have together. I literally cannot imagine sending them off to school every single day. It's really funny. I don't know how many people know this, but one of the reasons that we came to Oklahoma is because Garrett is doing some contract work for IEW. Okay. And so they're filming their classes. And it was really funny recently. Brooklyn sat in on one of their classes because she's not in the class, but they needed a fill-in student. And so she got to sit in as one of the students. And she was like, oh my gosh, that was so long. Because they actually filmed 2 classes. And of course, the filming is much longer than the actual video because they edit it down and all of that. So we're talking like 2 to 2.5 hours of filming for each class. So she sat for like 5 hours in this classroom. And she was like, that was straight torture.
And that's what you'd be doing.
Right. And I was like, oh, honey, you're so lucky that you don't have to sit in a classroom like
all day,
I did
every day.
Through my whole childhood.
Yeah.
And so it was interesting because it really gave her kind of a renewed sense of Like,
Totally.
okay, this is a blessing. It's a blessing that I get to sleep in a little bit in the morning and, just kind of run our own schedule.
Right.
And do what works best for our family. So,
totally.
So anyway, it's been a good year. We moved in January to Oklahoma, and it has been really interesting because we have been kind of on the other side now. When we were in California, which is where we're from, we had our perfect little bubble of homeschool families and our church and our family and everything. And then we moved to Georgia for a while, and now we're here. And it's starting all over. We didn't have any friends when we got here. We didn't know anybody in the homeschool world. And so it has been an adventure, and it's been really interesting to figure out how to put ourselves out there, how to connect with the local homeschool community. And I have to say, people here have been incredibly welcoming to our family.
Aww.
And I found their Facebook page, like the local Facebook page, and just said, hey, our family's moving there in January. What are some things that we can get involved in? What opportunities are there for co-ops? And we just got this influx of responses from people. And from that, we've had several families who have personally reached out to our family because they've had kids kind of around the same age. We found a co-op that we really enjoyed for this last half of the year. And so God has been good. And we're still building friendships and relationships and still trying to kind of find our footing here because we're in a new everything, new state, new town, new homeschool community, new everything, new house. Wow. And so it's been interesting.
And you are, though, because God has a plan wherever he moves you, you are speaking at the Oklahoma State Convention coming up.
Yes. Yeah. By the time this airs, I will have already spoken. But yes, this coming weekend,
I am
speaking at the Homeschool Oklahoma Family Conference. And yeah, it is exciting. I've actually spoken many times before for like MOPS groups and moms events and Bible studies and things like that. But this will actually be my first time speaking at a homeschool convention. And so I'm excited about that. It'll be really fun. I'm doing a session called I'll Never, Ever, Ever Homeschool.
That's awesome, because we knew that's how you started. And then now you can relate to moms that move. And we've gotten lots of questions like, I've moved, how do I connect with other homeschoolers? So now you can relate to how that goes.
Yes, it's true. I was just recently messaging with a mom who had recently moved to Idaho, actually. And I love it. I love being able to encourage those moms, but at the same time, being in that place myself, I really do understand
and have
what it's like. And I wouldn't have understood that very clearly several years ago when we were back home, where I knew everybody because we grew up in that town. And so that was home. So it really is a whole new world, moving to a different place where you don't know anybody. And God is faithful to provide the friends and the connections and the co-ops and the community that we need. So he's faithful that way.
That's exciting.
So it's been a good year. I am looking forward to summertime and just seeing what the Lord's going to do this summer in our family. And so we're actually out of time. We just did a whole entire episode on kind of a year in review. But we will be back Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to talk about summertime and just kind of resetting throughout the summer, just seeing how God can work through the summertime, even though you're maybe not homeschooling. Some people still choose to homeschool through summertime, but most, I think, choose to take a break. And it should not be a time where you just let go of everything. And there are many great things to be done during this summer break and lots of encouragement to be had. So we are going to come back on Wednesday and Thursday and talk about all the wonderful things and benefits of summertime as homeschool families.
Yay! Maybe the snow will be melted by then.
I wouldn't be surprised. Abby, we were there the last time when we went to see you. It was June.
Yes.
And there was snow there. I mean, it wasn't snowing.
But it was cold. I remember I had to bundle you up.
It was ridiculous.
I had to borrow clothes from friends to keep you warm.
It's so crazy.
I promise. I know what I'm talking about.
Abby lives in the Arctic.
Oh my goodness. Well, come back. And then I promise I will talk about the real summer. Even though Yvette doesn't think we have it, we do.
I know you do.
Just for only 4 weeks. Just kidding.
Oh my word. Okay, we'll be back on Wednesday. We're going to talk about summertime. Until then, have a great rest of your day and we will see you then. Bye.